Cobb. Oh, and an onside kick. Northwestern is on it. At the 45, Scott Frost going for the mortal.
All right. Welcome in. I guess we had the wrong open accidentally in the system. What was
that?
Jay's here, by the way. Nick Stainer, Rico, Jay.
It was like some lifetime love. What are you doing, Rico?
It was the Nebraska-Minnesota one.
Oh, no. Had the wrong open in the system. That's okay. Welcome in. It's the happy hour. 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick Stainer, Rico, and Jay with you. Rico, what's up?
Hello.
Jay, how's it going?
What's
His mic, we got to get his mic on. His mic's not even on.
Oh, he's on mic 1.
There he is.
I thought he was on mic 2.
There's Jay.
He's all the way in the corner.
People always ask me, what is that Rico does? Rico, what is that?
What?
The heller.
I don't know. I just started doing it, and I just do it.
He started it when we began a show. What was that, 2.5 years ago at this point now?
Something like that.
2.5 years ago. In August, it'll be 3 years. So, no, I mean, we started it he started it back in when we began this happy hour, initially from 2 to 3. We used to be at a different time slot.
Yeah.
People might forget that, but then we switched it up to 1 to 2, and here we are. So, welcome in 402-464-5685. The Honda of Lincoln hotline and the Starter Heyman text line are open for you guys the entire show today, as well as the Starter Heyman Jewelers live video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Allo channel 961. We're going to start out here with NFL playoffs since we have a former NFL linebacker in the studio with us. Let's start with the first game of the day yesterday with the Chiefs and the Ravens, because this one yesterday, it was one of those things where going into it, you're automatically saying, all right, the Ravens probably should win, but it's impossible to bet against Patrick Mahomes. And every single week, whether it was the Bills 2 weeks before, whether it was the Ravens on, yesterday afternoon, like I sat here personally saying last week after the Bills win, all right, listen, if Patrick Mahomes ends up winning a Super Bowl, there's no, I don't care how much he complains to the refs. I don't care how much he whines. I don't care if there's like people who got personal vendettas from the fan base. I don't care. The dude wins. He's 14-3 in the postseason play. And at the end of the day, whether he has a wide receiver 1 or whether he's working with rookie Rashee Rice, here he is 14-3 in the postseason, and he's won 2 road games.
Yeah. I mean, he's the real deal. I'm going to really break down what makes him successful in the playoffs. Later on Old School. But what he does is I say this, I talk to Strick a lot of times about LeBron and Jordan, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess you could throw Kobe in there because he's kind of like a replica of Jordan. Is that Jordan came in the league as a assassin.
Yeah.
He's going to drop 6. He's going to hit, you just never know. He might just roll out the bed and he's like, you know what? I'm mad at Rico. I'm going to hit you for 55.
Yep.
But when the focus became on truly winning, now granted, it's an organizational thing, and they added pieces around him, but they added certain pieces around him.
Yeah.
He started to play the game like LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
He would pass off to Kerr and Paxton and all that. Well, that's what Patrick Mahomes does. When you look at it, I think out of his 17 of his completions were at or behind the line of scrimmage. And all they do is just run the basic stuff. They ran the same play out of the same formation, but just diced up the formation a little bit, and Ravens could not even adjust. It's the same play.
What was yesterday more about the Chiefs or the Ravens? Because
no, I think
Ravens,
it's a little bit of both. I think
the Ravens did not look number one fundamentally ready, or mentally ready.
Right. They were mentally. The Chiefs played a mind trick on them and let their want to make this game physical in the immaturity of the Ravens against them. That's number one, which is hard because John Harbaugh's team are generally mentally tough.
Well, yeah.
Then number 2, Monken, the offensive coordinator, got introduced to Steve Spagnuolo, who is going to go down as one of the best defensive coordinators of our era and probably of all time if he keeps up with this, what actually the NFL is all about. Then on top of that, Lamar Jackson looked tight. The whole team offensively tight. The whole team in general looked tight. So it was probably, I would say, more about the Chiefs, but there's a lot of it was the Ravens, because the Ravens helped the Chiefs.
I mean,
And I don't want to take anything away from Patrick Mahomes, because the Chiefs' offense and defensive line beat the brakes off of the Baltimore Ravens offense and defensive line. And they got out coached. They got outperformed. Now, I think, was that the best Ravens performance? No, but it's probably one of the best Chiefs performance of all time. And the thing about it, I don't mean to go a little bit longer, is like Travis Kelce if he walked down O Street, Travis Kelce is about 6'5", 245, right?
something like that.
Arguably will go down. He'll be at least, now depending on era, he'll be at least a for sure top 5 tight end of all time. Stat wise, might be the best tight end of all time. How do you not cover that man with 2 people?
Great question.
And it's not just the rate. This has been going on since them 2 have been together. So if you can't, that's why I say the Ravens coaches did not help them. They didn't, because everything that Patrick Mahomes does, this is why Patrick Mahomes is going to be an all-time great. He's more athletically gifted than Tom Brady, right? He probably, I would say, has more arm talent than Tom Brady via his baseball background. And then I think mentally he's getting to where Tom Brady is, and he's a lot farther than people that are his age, which is 28 years old, because of growing up with a professional father in Patrick Mahomes.
It's incredible when you compare it to Tom Brady, and because those comparisons are going to be throughout Mahomes' entire career. At the start, it was like, okay, yeah, now he's on like this trajectory to match Tom Brady. The fact that he's stayed on that path and consistently continued it. I'm saying, right?
Because he's getting better now. Now they're in trouble.
Now he's settling in.
It's the opposite of all those basketball players where they say, "Oh, this is going to be the next Michael Jordan. This is the next LeBron James." They have maybe a good year, and then nothing happens after that. Patrick Mahomes, his staying power has been tremendous. Even though, everybody talks about how when he first gets to the Chiefs, they have all these weapons, they surround him, and everything is just perfect for Patrick Mahomes. Well, now he's doing it. He still has Travis Kelce, but you see the receivers he has to work with. I'm not saying they're still professionals. They're still really good at what they do, but this is probably the worst receiving core he's had, and he's still getting them to the Super Bowl. But that also goes back to Steve Spagnuolo. This is probably the best Chiefs defense
last 2 years
that he's had with this version of the Chiefs.
They've drafted really well defensively. Obviously, the L'Jarius Sneed out of Louisiana Tech, right? Finding a guy like him. Bolton, Juan Thornhill was one. Willie Gay. That was one of the biggest, I will say, because they had Chenal, who was the spy yesterday.
Right.
Because every game it's been Willie Gay. And we saw it kind of break down at times against Buffalo when Willie wasn't in there.
Yeah.
And so that was one of the the things I was curious about yesterday. How are they going to handle the athletic ability of Lamar Jackson?
You know how they handled it? The offensive coordinator.
There you go.
That's how they handled it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for doing business.
Yeah.
You have if not the fastest linebacker in the league, we'll always say top 5. He is a physical specimen in Gay. He's out. And Chenal can't keep up with him.
No.
Right? Tranquil was an off-season addition, but has been hurt. Now, and he played excellent too, right? Neither one of them can handle Lamar Jackson in open field. What did Baltimore Ravens do? It's almost like they didn't even look at the injury report. That's the difference. And I think the thing with Patrick Mahomes that people need to understand, now granted, we'll see what happens when Andy Reid leaves. Right? Because when
we already saw what happened with Eric Bieniemy leaving, and the offense took a step back. But still, Andy Reid.
But Andy Reid not being there, that head coach and the experience, and what Andy Reid is done for Patrick Mahomes. And Scantling has had a bad year. He's a legit receiver. Rice is legit. So as you looked at the Chiefs receivers last year, let's also not forget that towards the end of last year, you saw Smith-Schuster and those guys start to gel. And then they became almost like, oh, you got 3 dudes, right?
Yep.
Well, what did the Chiefs do this year? The last quarter of the season, these guys start getting it together. Rice has been, successful all year. So what did Andy Reid do? If you read the reports, he stepped in and took more of a hands-on approach to the offense. So that he saw that Rice, for a rookie, has been pretty dang good. What do they do down the stretch? We're featuring him. probably had a real heart-to-heart talk with Kelsey. You see Kelsey looked, obviously, the energy in his legs and his play, and they're feeding him, right? And plus, he has the heart of a champion. He is a Hall of Famer, so it's still in him. The focus is there, so it's no different. And then you got the running attack that you can always depend on. And then Patrick Mahomes is going to kill you with his mind. And then next thing you know, and then when you have a weak-minded team and a team with, I guess, false expectations,
They were getting put up on pedestals
too quick.
Yeah.
And they hadn't won anything.
Yeah.
And if I'm Lamar Jackson, I gotta really look at, now that I got my money, right? Which I think that hurt last year. I really have to look at, like, who are you really surrounding us with? Is it okay? Yeah, they brought in Odell Beckham Jr., but that's really not doing
He
anything.
didn't do much.
Zay Flowers is going to be
Legit.
good.
But I'm saying you spent $18 million on him.
Exactly.
You could have got somebody else that's actually legit. Along with, you have to make sure that offensive coordinator is on point, because I think Lamar Jackson can be just as good as Patrick Mahomes if they took a little bit more of a Cam Newton approach with the offensive attack.
I mean, so here, a couple things. Staying on the Chiefs really quickly. So where is Travis Kelce, since this week was so much about tight ends, right? This weekend, I guess, right? Whether it's Laporta, whether it's Kittle, Mark Andrews, who came back, and then Travis Kelce. Where's Travis Kelce all time in tight ends?
Ever?
And Tony Gonzalez in front of him.
Yeah, Shannon Sharp. I
He
mean,
broke the all-time
yeah,
postseason receptions record. Him and Patrick Mahomes passed Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski for most touchdown receptions by a duo in the postseason.
Because he passed Jerry Rice, correct?
Yeah, for most postseason
catches.
Yeah, I mean, he's up there. I don't think he's the best. The stats aren't going to really give you the best.
They throw the ball a lot more.
They throw the ball a lot more.
I
mean, it's hard for,
because like in some order, it's got to be like the Tony Gonzalez, Antonio Gates, Rob Gronkowski, Travis Kelce.
I would take Gates out, put Sharp in.
Okay. In
And-
some order, those
Yeah,
five.
and it's just all in the eyes of the beholders.
And
what
Tony
they like.
Gonzalez also had the staying power.
Yes.
He played for a while.
Yeah.
And
he
was
had
still productive.
He was all pros last year.
Yeah, because
so
then he went to the Falcons and he played well.
he got even better.
Yeah.
and
which was
so
weird.
and when Tony Gonzalez played for the Chiefs, he was the whole offense. It's totally different. He didn't play with a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes. You know,
he was there at Castle, or no,
No,
that was
he was there
before
before.
Castle.
yeah. So he,
That
I
would've
mean,
been like
so
Big Ten.
yeah. So it was like whoever.
Yeah.
they had,
He was there.
You know,
he probably
Trent
had
Green,
like 6 different
yeah,
quarterbacks.
Yeah,
Trent Green was there. Yeah,
that was probably the best one when they were really rolling.
Yeah.
But you got to think there were some lean times when Tony Gonzalez played. Now,
Yeah.
granted, that at that point in time, that's where you're like, okay, well, that's why his receptions were so good. But you know, I mean, Travis Kelce is an all-time great. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Brody Croyle.
You know, one of the best of all time. It just kind of depends on where you're at. If you like an all-around tight end, you know, I don't think Travis Kelce probably matches up for an all-time tight end. Then you got to think of like a Rob Gronkowski or Tony Gonzalez. Pure stats wise, he's probably going to blow it out the frame. The game is different.
Yeah, I've said this before. Travis Kelce is one of the better receiving tight ends, but when it comes, like you said, all around, like he can block, but he's not.
When he needs to, he
Yeah.
was blocking yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
When he
Yeah.
wants to.
Hey, there was somebody who was saying something about Taylor down there.
Somebody had to have.
Well, the thing is,
No, I'm being facetious, but, like,
the
something was being
the
said.
Chiefs were getting away with a lot of
They
stuff,
were
and you could question whether it was bias, right? Because I mean, when I say this, I'm talking about when a referee misses the ABCs of a call at the point of attack, you start to question your ability to do your job. Because even on the interception late by Lamar in the triple coverage, they tackled the receiver before the ball even got there. That's a pass interference. Doesn't matter if it's week 1, 17, Super Bowl. That should be a pass interference. The other one, I think the Flowers in the flat where the defender just picked him up and threw him on the ground. That's a pass interference. The Chiefs, and then the whole, like, the ref saw a couple times Kelce pushes him. If you're, I talk to you about this all the time. If you're a ref, you got to get control of the game.
Yeah. From the get-go.
From the get-go. You got to talk to both of them.
And it started pregame.
It started pregame.
It started pregame with Kelsey tossing Justin
Right.
Tucker's helmet and all that
Right.
junk.
Patrick
And
Mahomes
then-
kicking the
Yeah.
little
Yeah,
tee
it all started
Yeah,
pre.
so
You knew from the get go.
Right. So you lost control of the game.
right away.
And then how does every single time
Yeah.
the Ravens get called for it? But then also it's the gamesmanship from the Chiefs and the experience of the Chiefs. So when you haven't won yet,
Mhm.
right,
Mm-hmm.
you won't get those calls.
We also know it's always the second guy.
It is always the second guy, but that's not a good enough excuse
No,
when
it's
you're
not.
playing for
Well,
championship.
It's that experience you're talking about where the
Right.
Chiefs know, like, we can go this far up
Yes.
to a certain point. The Ravens don't. They don't have that. Yes, Harbaugh has championship
Right.
experience, but the roster doesn't.
The
Hey.
roster is very young and immature.
Because we saw Roquan do it a couple of times.
Sure, everybody- right.
Everybody did it.
Right.
But,
Everybody
I
did
mean,
it, but Kelsey was egregious with
Yeah.
it.
He knew what he was doing.
And Harbaugh had talked to the refs.
Mhm.
And the rest had continued to ignore it. So that's where the problem lies. But ultimately, the Chiefs were the better team, and I think in all three phases. And the Baltimore just got out coached and outclassed, and it sucks for them. And the thing that people don't understand, and I had to learn this in the NFL, man. It's tough. I mean, I come out of college. You come out of college, we win national championships. We go to the playoffs a couple years.
Mhm.
We got the Music City Miracle or whatever. And I'm like, all right, that's okay, fine. We dropped the ball. We're bringing back the same team the next year, and we struggle, and it got the coach fired 3 years into the league. And then it took, I didn't go to when Greg Williams came in, my last year in Buffalo, not even a chance. They blew up the whole roster. All our great players left. So I'm left over as a kind of, transition player. Go to Houston. You know what I mean? Gotta go, right? Get traded. Do well individually. Not even close to the playoffs. Peyton Manning's in the AFC South. Steve McNair is still, obviously, rest in peace is there. You're not making it. And then I get to the playoffs with the Giants in San Fran. One and done. That quick. That's why every possession, every catch counts, everything counts. And, when you think about Detroit, yeah, everybody can jam up Dan Campbell for it. Okay, that's fine. There's probably one time I was like, yeah, you probably should have took the field goal. But it's not a bad call when the dude, this is your job.
He's done it all season.
But this is your job. So, okay, here's an example. If it's 4th or 3rd and 8 or 9, and they throw a check down to Nick, he catches it at 3 yards. I whiff on the tackle repeatedly, or whatever it may be. That's not on the coaches. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to say one guy lost the game, but dude, you got to make that catch every single day. That's what separates, let's just say in this case, the 49ers and the Chiefs. Playing pitch and catch. That's what the Chiefs do.
Mhm.
Essentially what they're doing, what Andy Reid is doing, he's just doing what Bill Belichick and Tom Brady did. Here's the main difference. Him and Patrick Mahomes actually have a good relationship, and he respects Patrick Mahomes. And Andy Reid has a good relationship with 99.9% of the players that go through there. That's the difference. And really, to be honest with you, if I was Lamar Jackson, I would be reaching out to Patrick Mahomes in the offseason, because Andy Reid, and you probably want to be able to talk to Andy Reid. Andy Reid has set forth the path for Patrick Mahomes. If he doesn't take the chance and really go through the muddy waters with Donovan McNabb, McNabb doesn't end up having the career he has. And you know who doesn't have the coaching career that he has? Andy Reid.
Yep.
Some of the mistakes that he made back in Philly back in the day, he's remembered in Philly, or remembered in Kansas City.
There's a lot we want to get to still. Mentioning the Lions, I mentioned some statistics earlier this morning on the show with Raph that I find kind of mind-boggling in a positive way for the Lions. Jay, when it's 4th and 2 or 4th and 3, the Lions go for it more than anybody in the league, right?
Yep.
Because it's such an analytical game now too, where you see a lot of young head coaches are saying, we just, whatever the analytics say, we go for it. We follow the analytics. When it's 4th and 2 or 4th and 3, the Lions are converting 74% of the time.
Right.
So, and I told you this morning, is like, this is what's got you there. There's been a couple decisions in the Bears game during the regular season. Like, there was a couple decisions where it's like, all right, that was probably a little bit too aggressive.
Yeah.
Need to be a little more smarter about it. But in the bulk of it, this is Dan Campbell. Like, this is what you sign up for. Also, that's kind of the way that it feels like the Detroit Lions are going to need to win.
Well,
Like, this is what's gotten you to this point. There's no reason to change it. And at the end of it, catch the ball.
right. Well, here's I always look at people sideways as if you take the easy, you have the easy
Mhm.
response, easy analysis. Okay, right? Dan Campbell, you should be fired. You went for it on the fourth down. Or on the flip side, Nick, you can say, well, this is always who you are, right? So it's almost you're forced to do it. Now, I do think that he should have kicked it. That's just my opinion. But here's what people don't understand. This is why I hate analytics, right? Is because analytics doesn't take emotion into it.
Yeah.
And you want to know why analytics doesn't take emotion is so important? When we played Iowa a couple years ago and they blocked that punt, right? The whole momentum in that stadium changed. And some plays were called based on analytics. You got to feel the game, right? And to Dan Campbell's defense, he knew his team, who all year was, and they did it even against the Rams, withstood the storm and got the momentum back. He saw in 3 series, right? Fumble by Gibbs, which was a backbreaker.
Yeah.
Another drop pass by Reynolds. And another missed opportunity by Goff to St. Brown, right? He had to, because his team was out of sorts.
They were losing it.
And he had to. And to be honest with you, it's who he is, right? He's feeling the game, and he knows this as a player.
Yeah.
And you got to think, he was, I think, on that Giants team when they lost the momentum against San Fran, oddly enough, way back in the day. And you got to catch the ball, dude. And you got to not fumble the ball. That's why when you have a chance to beat a team, you got to beat them.
Here's why the first Reynolds incompletion or drop was so important. The Lions had all the momentum.
And was that the third down one?
No,
he
it was
dropped
on
that
fourth.
was-
That was on fourth. That was on
Okay.
4th and 2.
That was the second drop.
Right
Right.
after Moody. No, I'm saying right after Moody, because it was still 24. It was 24-7 at this point,
Yes.
I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, that was
And-
his first. The second drop was on
Yeah,
fourth down.
So this one was on 4th. Nonetheless,
Yeah.
that first drop by Josh Reynolds was so
Imperative.
big
Yeah.
because Detroit had all the momentum.
Oh, the game was over.
The life was sucked out of that stadium.
Yep.
Sucked out of it. And you are unable. It was a fine throw. There was nothing wrong with the pass.
He hit him in the hand.
It hit him with both hands.
Yeah.
And he dropped it.
Yeah.
And that was Dan Campbell trying to basically just continue to step on the throat.
Well, at the end of the day, it's you just continue to play.
Yeah.
He wasn't watching the clock. There's
No.
tons of time for San Francisco to come back. You just keep playing. Here's another example. I don't mean to cut you off. You remember a
all
couple years ago when Bill O'Brien was still the head coach at the Houston Texans, and they were up 28-0 on the Chiefs.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And he
with Deshaun.
and
Yeah,
he played.
in
You know what he
Kansas
did?
City,
He
yeah.
played not to lose that
Yeah,
game.
exactly.
That was when we saw Mahomes.
Right. Well, that's when Kansas City plays their best.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because they could just throw it out, and you got plethora of receivers
They had Tyreek.
Plus, you had Arrowhead.
Your
Right.
back's against the wall, and you're like, all right, well, let's just chuck it.
in 2.5 quarters.
Yep.
Against this dude that can score in one play. Back to that play, Nick. The reason why that is so huge, what people don't understand, and this is from experience because I've been on both sides of it, right? Watching it as a defender, and we get a crucial 4th down when T. Frazier and those guys are out, or Doug Flutie or whatever. Okay, he catches it. He catches that ball. A worst case scenario, let's say they get 3 points. That's 3 more points, and they're still playing. It sets you up for the future in play calls against this. You can predicate what the San Fran's going to do in the 3rd and 4th quarter. Also, more time off the clock. Then the second drop, when the momentum is starting to shift. I think San Fran comes out, they drive it all the way down, they get a field goal. Well, guess what? Detroit said, okay, we can withstand it. And really, to be honest with you, I'm going to walk back my statement saying they weren't able to answer the call. They did answer because Jared Goff came out there. Montgomery ran it down the field. Got over the 50, a crucial 3rd down. This is when he was more wide open. The first 4th down, it was kind of a little bit of a pass, and he caught it, tried to catch it like a basket. He needed to catch it like this, right? The 3rd down play, He was wide open on a kind of we used to call it midline crossing route.
Yeah, they got the man-to-man. They did the motion. They saw that he was on a linebacker.
And ran it away from,
and he
just
hits him in the numbers.
Right.
Drops it, kicks it, and just falls on the ground.
He dropped it, kicked it, and it wasn't one of those things like, oh, he could have caught it and then he might have got tackled. He was beyond the first down. Now, to withstand a run of a team like the 49ers, who's dangerous offensively, okay, you catch it, say you get tackled, and say it's a 12-yard game. 3 more minutes are off that clock.
Yep.
That changes what Kyle Shanahan does.
It's also a much more manageable field goal. And here's where Michael Badgley comes into play here for the Detroit Lions.
Those dang kickers.
Is that, guys, from outside 40 yards, he's 8 of 16 in outdoors.
Coin flip.
When it's the NFC Championship, all season, or excuse me, in the last 4 games, the Lions have not asked him to kick farther than a 41-yard field goal. The guy has, I think it was 8 of 16 in outdoor games, and I think he's missed 5 in indoors past 40 yards. That's not included in that 8 of 16. Just the statistics are not there.
Yeah.
So then it's like, it was tough for me, and this is where I'm at on Monday morning or Monday afternoon now, where it's like, all right, so Dan Campbell has that in the back of his head. Plus, hey, the analytics, as much as maybe they're stupid and they don't take the emotion
I mean, there's
into
a place for it.
I'm saying, taking all that into account, I can't sit here and be like, gosh, I can't believe Dan Campbell didn't go for the field goal, because I see both sides to where it's you guys are so successful at 4th down, more 50 percentage points higher than the league average.
Right. But
and you just didn't get it. Execute.
All I would say is this: if you catch the ball on that 3rd down and you worst case scenario take a minute and 20 seconds off that clock and you get 4 more yards, I guarantee he's way inside 40 yards.
Mm-hmm.
So actually the analytics are null and void. There is a reason
you're keeping it 3 possessions at that point.
Analytics needs to be in the game. I think it helps young coaches and players that if you really dive into it, be a better player and a coach.
Yeah.
Where I have a problem with it, where you just blindly lean on it. Now, Dan Campbell has two sections of analytics going against him. 1, you're so successful on 4th down.
Yeah.
2, your kicker ain't successful.
Yep.
Yeah.
And 3, which is the realistic one, you're losing the momentum. Now, I would have liked to seen him maybe lean on his special teams coach, but the head coach has to make the decision. I do think obviously looking back on it, it's the easy thing is to attack Dan Campbell. I'm more worried about a good player and what I thought leading up to this ascending player seamlessly dropped the ball and was not upset about it when you watch him on the sideline. I also will look at, if I'm looking at the offensive coordinator, why did you stop running the ball?
Oh, here's the thing. Ben Johnson's the offensive coordinator, has had multiple interviews with
probably the Commanders coach by the end of the business day, right?
He's going to be head coach. That started out perfect for Detroit. Absolutely perfect.
Couldn't have asked for anything
Greg
else.
Olsen, who we're actually going to talk about in later in the show here.
Okay.
Greg Olsen outlined it perfectly from the start. He's like, listen, they opened the broadcast, and 30 seconds into the broadcast, Greg Olsen, former tight end for the Panthers, goes, listen, nope, not many people have ran the ball a whole lot in terms of quantity against the 49ers, right? There's a lot of names up there, but really the 49ers are middle of the pack in running rush defense. Ben Johnson comes out, and the 2-headed horse of David Montgomery, and then just allowing Jahmyr Gibbs to get in space, right? This goes back to the way the Lions drafted Penei Sewell, right? And Sam Laporta, Decker. All these guys that they've drafted are now working. They are moving smooth. And they're destroying. They are winning, dominating the line of scrimmage.
And your receivers block too.
Yes. Yeah. And then guess what? Then you have a play to Amon-Ra St. Brown. You can put Laporta down a seam up the middle. Whatever you want.
Jameson Williams was getting busy.
Yeah. And I mean, here's the deal. On the first touchdown, you give the ball to your fastest player in space and see what happens. So, like, the game opened up to a T for Detroit. Sucked the life out of the stadium. And I truly believe that everything kind of flipped when Reynolds dropped the first one.
Yes.
I really do.
Because you want to know
because then there's also an opportunity where you're sitting there going, all right, there's a 2-for-1 chance here.
Exactly.
Because you knew that San Francisco got the ball to start the third quarter. You were able to have a spot to where You score a touchdown, get a stop, score points, score points, get a stop, score more points
Right.
before halftime. And then guess what? It works seamlessly as like you're just kicking off after the points.
And you got to expect San Fran to make a run, but you have to. It's like we talk about the basketball. The equivalent of what Johnson did was not make your free throws.
Yeah.
For the front end, remember they said 1 and 1.
Mhm.
You want to stop a momentum. You want to stop a team coming back. Like it's like me and Nick call high school games, and we called the East and Southwest game. Southwest was in the penalty with like 4 minutes left. I was like, dude, you got to get this thing to the rack because Southwest was starting to run on the East. How do you stop it? Free throws. How do you stop a momentum shift, from a team like the 49ers? Reestablish the line of scrimmage and maybe dice it up, whether it's motion, shift. They were running the ball inside the tackles, inside the guard, outside. They were doing whatever they wanted.
That little pitch was working.
In addition, you have one of the best play action passers in today's game in Jared Goff.
And play action route runner.
Yeah.
So you could do it. You go back to what is successful. David Montgomery runs behind his pads. You have one of the better offensive lines in the league. You want to eat up clock. What do you do? And I always talk about this with like when you're on the road with Nebraska. Just because you don't score the first drive doesn't mean that you're not successful.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you don't answer score for score doesn't mean it's successful. Do you flip the field? Do you get a couple first downs? Because the doubt that you put into the defense, or at least in my case, the linebackers, mind that you can still move the ball and say we get lucky on a drop pass.
Mhm.
You don't run to the sideline thinking like, oh yeah, we stopped them. You don't do that.
Yeah.
What we think about with that drop pass is like, oh, this dude ain't ready to play. We do have a chance. That's why.
Yeah.
You have to make the simple plays,
man.
to put the dagger in the heart.
Speaking of the
it's-
simple plays, I wanted to ask you from a linebacker's perspective. Christian McCaffrey runs the ball 20 times for like 96 yards, but he's just lowering his pads and just going into people. You think of Christian, he's kind of shifty in Carolina,
But he's running.
He's running behind his pads.
Yeah.
Like what's your thought process there? Where he could shake you in open space, but also he's more than willing to put those pads down.
I think there's an old saying is that you won't get beat by a guy that's running the ball. You lose by explosive plays,
Mhm.
right? And they were in San Fran's case off the helmet. With Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry when he was in his prime, Fred Taylor for sure, they can house call you. Those are explosive plays. So, but with Christian McCaffrey, he has the footwork and vision. That's why. And then when you get off a block with a really good offensive line, he can lower the boom on you. What happened was, which I don't think, Aaron Glenn, I guess, game plan for, is San Fran had probably more success inside than they should have. McNeil is pretty good run stuffer.
Mm-hmm.
He on the first touchdown,
He got blown up.
And he got sealed.
Yeah.
Aiden Hutchinson, yes, George Kittle's a good blocker. It was bad. He got handled in the run game. So then what does that do? That as a linebacker, you start to guess a little bit. Then you start to see Christian McCaffrey gash you. I don't think that's why they lost. I think they lost a couple receivers and they lost the momentum. And primarily, I would say it was on the offensive side of the ball. You scored 24 points in the first half, 0 in the second half. Yeah. I mean, come on. I mean, you saw Green Bay Packers again essentially lost the game too. More games are lost than won in the NFL. That's what Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs are doing. They're playing winning football with a generational quarterback and an all-time tight end and a coach that knows how to put guys in position and know what he needs to be successful. They're drafting guys to know that they're going to be ready to play winning football at the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Because now you want to know why Patrick Mahomes could throw that deep floater? The defense and the idiot over there trying to drop back 90% of the time with Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
They're taking everything into account.
There's so much more we could get into. Make sure you check out Old School 4 to 6 today. Jay and Austin with you. DP's out of town. So it'll be Jay and Austin running the show on Old School later this afternoon. Let's go ahead and take a break. We are very late, but we appreciate Jay hanging out.
My
That's
bad,
all right.
man.
No, it's all right. It was good.
It was necessary.
402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, the Starter Heyman text line. We'll start the 1 o'clock hour coming up next.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the happy hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Why are New Year's resolutions always about getting to the gym more or dieting? We fail ourselves before the first month of the year is already over. Why not resolve to eat better, tastier foods in 2024? Look no further than Fuhrer's cheese spread. Stop eating your apples, vegetables, crackers, and chips plain. Give them some flavor. Fuhrer's cheese spread awakens your taste buds. Now that's how you start a new year. Find your container of Fuhrer's cheese spread today at your local grocery store.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
It's not just the big game everyone looks forward to, it's the food. If you're hosting a super party, let Hog Wild Pit Barbecue do the cooking so you can cheer on your favorite team. Slow smoked ribs, beef brisket, pulled pork, hot links, and so much more. Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
24/7 threat monitoring, expert tech support, streamlined communications. Allo has a solution for that. Protect your business with Allo Business. Comprehensive firewall security, Microsoft Teams voice integrated communications, cybersecurity and IT support managed by experts. From productivity to peace of mind, Allo has a solution for that. Allo means business. Protect your business by visiting allofiber.com/business.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. The last few years have been wild, but we've been here for you through all the ups and downs, and we'll be here for you when you need us the most, for all your travels and for your day-to-day driving. With winter conditions causing problems all over town, the last thing anyone needs this year is constant car troubles. Let us help you drive in peace and make sure you drive to work and to winter destinations safe. A1 Automotive, 11th and L Street downtown, always honest answers.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Think you need a new furnace due to a cracked heat exchanger? Call Bryant for a free second opinion. Might save you thousands, no matter what brand. Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. We do whatever it takes.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
The Mill Coffee and Tea inside our 93.7 The Ticket studio is now open 7 days a week. From 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on weekdays and 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturday and Sundays, you can enjoy burritos, cinnamon rolls, fresh brewed coffee, delicious tea, or even their coffee and cream ale. Sold exclusively at the Ticket Mill location. Open 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on weekdays and 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. on the weekends. Right here at 1040 O Street in downtown Lincoln.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, a little patchy fog possible this morning. Otherwise, we'll see mainly sunny skies. Stay in the warm weather, too. We'll see a high around 47. Tonight, partly cloudy skies are expected with a low around 31. And tomorrow, more sunshine on the way. Warm weather, too. We'll see a high around 44. I'm meteorologist Kyle Kleck for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is the Happy Hour.
You guys going to happy hour?
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, I'll come for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I want to know what it's like to commit a crime without having to spend time in jail.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
C is for chunk.
Brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in. Happy Monday. Back here on the Happy Hour. Good conversation with Jay Foreman. Make sure you guys check out Jay Austin from 4 to 6 today on Old School DP Out of Town. He'll once he gets back into town, he'll join the guys like he usually does on Old School from 4 to 6. Huge thanks to the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese for sponsoring that show. Huge thanks to Empire Fence and Netting for sponsoring the Happy Hour. So make sure you check out their location in Waverly, Nebraska. As always, 402-464-5685. The Honda of Lincoln hotline and the Starter Heyman text line are open for you, as well as the Starter Heyman Jewelers live video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Allo Channel 961. You can follow us on Twitter, Nick_Sainer, or at Radio Rico AC. We got a lot of breaks time to catch up on because we went about 35 minutes with Jay in that first segment. So that was a really good conversation on the NFL playoff games. We're going to start here with Nebraska women's basketball. Just really quickly, there's not much to unfortunately talk about with the game on Saturday against the Iowa Hawkeyes because they're going to have a rematch in 2 weeks. On Super Bowl Sunday at noon, they're going to have a rematch as number 5, currently top 10. Iowa is going to be coming into Lincoln on Sunday, February 11th. That game's at noon at PBA. I'd expect a pretty rambunctious crowd for that one.
They already sold it out.
There you go. I would expect that. I know a couple of people that are getting general admission tickets.
Yeah,
they got general admission tickets, and they said we are going there at 9:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
So I would expect it to be
there early.
Yeah,
be loud.
To be pretty busy on Super Bowl Sunday before the big game, on the football game in the afternoon and evening. So Caitlin Clark, it'll be the final time that she's in Lincoln.
She has not lost to Nebraska.
She has not lost.
She has been in college.
She has not lost to Nebraska, and she has not scored fewer than 30.
Yeah, she their last game, Nebraska, I think going into halftime was down by 5. Caitlin Clark hit a 3 at the end of the half to extend the lead a little bit, but Nebraska was doing a really good job on her in the first half, in the first and second quarter. And then she hit that shot to end the half, and I guess that just kind of woke her up, and she started going off in the second half, and Nebraska didn't really have an answer for her, and couldn't go shot for shot with her, as many teams cannot. But there were a couple instances during the game that had Nebraska fans up in arms.
Yeah. So by the way, Iowa now moves up to 3rd in the AP poll after they beat Nebraska on Saturday. They have a 19-2 overall record. They moved up 2 spots to 3rd in the AP poll. there it is. So
South Carolina is still sitting at number 1. I believe they're undefeated.
Oh yeah, Dawn Staley. There you go.
With her new Boo hoodie.
There you go. Nice. I'm just looking at some of these things. Caitlin Clark, like we said last time, that she'll play against the Huskers in Lincoln. That is, who knows if Nebraska will match up with Iowa in the Big Ten tournament or beyond. But nonetheless, Nebraska women's basketball now, I believe, 13-7 on the season. 13-7 potentially. Hold on, I can tell you guys for sure here. Either 13-7 or 13-8. They are 13-7. 13-7. Similar woes on the road as the men. They are 9-2 at home, 3-4 on the road. They've lost 2 in a row, though. Have the Huskers, and I believe they play Purdue. Yes, they host Purdue this Wednesday at 7 p.m. Then they host Rutgers on this Saturday at 2 p.m. At Pinnacle Bank Arena before hitting the road for Michigan. And then obviously the big one is at home next Sunday, the February 11th, against top 5 Iowa. So there's that one. A little bit of just news and notes there real quickly on Nebraska women's basketball. Still in a good spot for the postseason tournament for the NCAA, the big dance. But Nebraska certainly needs to get a win against a Purdue team. It's so funny because like when Nebraska joined the Big Ten Conference, there were a lot of these teams that were very, very good.
Yes.
Purdue was one of them. Purdue, I remember Nebraska when, oh gosh, it was like Rachel Terriot had to play, was the point guard for Nebraska, and they had like, what was it, Sarah Katie? Sarah Katie, Kate Kane was one. Anyway, nonetheless,
she had a cup of coffee in the WNBA.
We could look at like the 2013 women's basketball roster.
She was on that Las Vegas Aces team before they got good. I don't know if she played much, but she was there.
Okay, yeah. So here's a couple throwback just from like 2013. Nebraska women's basketball. Rachel Terriot, Emily Cady. She was from Seward.
Okay.
Allie Havers. There was Haley Sample. Tara Laudermill. Jordan Hooper was on this team. But nonetheless, there was back then, like Penn State was incredible at women's basketball. Purdue was really good at women's basketball. Maryland was unreal under Brenda Fries.
Maryland used to be like the class of women's basketball for a while.
Brenda Fries. Indiana wasn't good. Here they are 17-2. Ohio State was fine. Here they are 17-3. Michigan State was not very good. Here they are 15-5. Michigan was really good, but now not so much. So you're seeing kind of like a change in the last, 6-7 years with Big Ten women's college basketball, where some of the better teams are now towards the bottom of the standings. Nebraska kind of being one of them. Nebraska 13-7 on the season. Not that they're not good. They just don't have the talent right now to match up with like an Iowa when they have Caitlin Clark, right? So next year, maybe some things change when you have a 5-star guard come into the fold.
And also when a Caitlin Clark leaves.
There you go. That'll certainly help everybody in the conference.
Take that, Lisa Bleeder.
From Rutgers to Indiana.
Exactly.
This is a different Iowa team because they don't have Cisnano down low.
But they do have, I don't remember her name, but their post player is still, she's not a Monica Cisnano, but she is also still pretty efficient with her shots.
Yeah.
I mean, again, it doesn't hurt to have Caitlin Clark passing you the ball, but still efficient.
Yeah. So there you go. Nebraska women's basketball 13-7. They host Purdue on Wednesday at 7 p.m. We are going to break down Husker men's basketball, and we're going to do that next. As unfortunately, we have to take another quick timeout just to catch up on some timing stuff. And don't go anywhere. Husker men's basketball, they fell to Maryland over the weekend. They will host Wisconsin on Thursday. Plenty of stuff to get to with Nebraska men's basketball and Fred Hoiberg's squad, who fell to 15-6 now on the season, and still looking for just some camaraderie, some consistency on the road. We'll break it down coming up next on the Happy Hour.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and we'd like to say thank you for a record-setting 2023. So let's start off 2024 with the bang. They've got huge trade-in bonuses and finance bonusing happening right now on our new inventory at Koppel. Get up to $8,500 off select new models at Koppel. So if you're shopping for a new GM product, go to our website at koppelcars.com. You won't believe the discounts. Make that short money-saving drive down 144th Street. You'll be glad you did. Must have trade and finance with roof credit. Stock number G207684.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Always the best value.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Hey guys, Jake Sorensen here from Early Break. The garage door at our house has been needing replacement for a couple years, and a few months ago, we finally did something about it. Steve's Garage Doors and Services was great through the whole process in providing options and also going to the next level to get a door that was approved by our HOA. And best of all, the removal of the old door and installation of the new door was done smoothly with no issues. Call Steve's Garage Doors and Services today at 402-480-2840.
My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
If you want all the latest technologies from those big banks, but you also want that hometown feel when you walk in the front doors, choose Midwest Bank. They have top-notch technology. They make banking so easy, and they also have the friendliest staff who will take their time to get to know you and treat you like family. You get the best of both worlds when you choose Midwest Bank. I live on the go, and now I can bank on the go. With Midwest Bank, I have everything I need at my fingertips. I'm volleyball player Allie Batenhorst, and at Midwest Bank, you'll love banking here.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro photography to showcase the house in the best possible way, pro marketing to make sure we get maximum exposure, pro negotiations so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Bleicher and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador. Online at prg-ne.com.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
A smoke-free environment is the only way to fully protect from the dangers of secondhand smoke. That's why smoke-free policies are so important to me. Whether it's in my car, apartment building, or when I'm dining outdoors, there's no place for secondhand smoke or e-cigarette aerosol. Breathe easier knowing the facts. Visit smokefree.ne.gov. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert.
Even before you start. That was a preemptive shh.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
I already had someone created in my image. He's evil, he wants to take over the world, and he fits easily into most overhead storage bins.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. You can join us on the FM dial, the app, the website, wherever you get your content, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Allo Channel 961. Yeah, everywhere. You cannot not find us.
Cannot escape us.
We are obviously the flagship for the Supernovas, Supernovas radio network, that is. Next match, Saturday.
Yes, San Diego Mojo come to town.
San Diego Mojo. Any notable names on the Mojo?
Probably. I don't know their roster that well.
So, I mean,
maybe that makes me a bad flagship.
There's a couple of interesting names on various rosters, right? We talked about it. Kayla Caffey's currently playing for Grand Rapids.
Caitlin Horde is playing for Columbus.
Caitlin Horde's playing for Columbus. Asia O'Neal just got drafted by the Columbus Fury.
Grand Rapids.
Also Grand Rapids?
She's also I believe.
There's somebody with the Columbus Fury.
I get Grand Rapids and Columbus confused. It doesn't make sense, but it happens.
All right, we can figure this out. Oh, Caitlin Horde with the Columbus Fury.
Okay, see, I was wrong. It's okay.
Yeah,
it happens.
Caitlin Horde with the Columbus Fury, while Asia O'Neal would be with the Grand Rapids Rise. Yeah, nice job. You're right. So when when Omaha plays both Grand Rapids, especially because you'll have Asia O'Neal and Kayla Caffey.
Now, she didn't play Grand Rapids. Asia O'Neal didn't play in the first match between Grand Rapids and Columbus because she had only been with Grand Rapids for about a week.
Yeah.
So she's still getting used to the team and getting used to everything there. So she didn't play in the first matchup, but I'm sure she'll play in the upcoming ones. I mean, she was the first overall pick. She's going to be like the future of this professional league. So at least that's the plan.
How about this? So the Mojo, they have to travel to Atlanta on Thursday.
Yep.
And then they will come to Omaha on Saturday.
Fun stuff. I'm looking through the
6
roster.
p.m. 6 p.m. first serve for the San Diego Mojo.
I'm not, and be honest, like I don't still learning about volleyball, so still learning some of the names, but I don't recognize some of these names, but I do recognize Temi Thomas-Ilara.
Hello.
Former Northwestern outside, former Wisconsin outside for a year when she transferred there. She's on this team, but she doesn't have a picture. So I'm assuming she's not playing yet.
Just got drafted.
Yeah, I'm assuming she's not playing yet. But there's a couple Big Ten names in here. And look, this is for all you Big Ten volleyball fans out there. Hannah Tapp. She was a middle blocker from Minnesota. She's been pro 8 years. Grace Loberg. I actually know that name. Out of Wisconsin, outside. Allison Bastianelli out of Illinois. She's been pro 4 years. So there's a couple names on here that people might recognize.
We're finding out there's a lot of consistency with like universities and what universities are able to send players professional.
Yep. A lot of Oregon. A lot. There's an Oregon player on here as well.
There are 3 Oregon players on the San Diego Mojo. Might be playing against one of their former teammates on the Supernovas.
Brooke Nunaviller.
Thank you. Also from Oregon.
Yes. Morgan Lewis, who it looks like she's in her first year. And I feel like this height is wrong. It says she is 4'3".
Probably wrong. Be a very short volleyball player. But nonetheless, there you go.
Look, hey, I don't judge.
Don't judge at all.
August Rasky out of Oregon. She's been pro 4 years.
Dang.
They have a lot of international players on this team.
They do.
I don't know where the Universidad Metropolitana is, but that's where Shara Marie Venegas Medina is from.
We could find this out. Universidad
Metropolitana.
All right, there it is. All right, so this is going to be de Caracas.
Caracas?
Yep, Caracas, Venezuela.
There you go.
Wow.
She has been pro 14 years.
There's only 5,000 students at this place.
Well,
and
there
she
you
was
go.
one of them.
She was one of them. 14 years pro, libero.
That's actually pretty cool. That's pretty cool. We got a text that says taller than Rico at 4'3".
Just a smidge.
Just a smidge.
Just a smidge.
All right. Rico just measured himself this morning. He's listed at about 4'2" tall.
4, 2 3/4.
There it is.
She's just a smidge tall.
Yeah, just a smidge. Once again, 402-464-5685. The Honda of Lincoln hotline, Starter Heyman text line are open for you guys. Husker men's basketball. Nebraska hoops, they fall to Maryland over the weekend by a score of 73-51. Disappointing performance for the Huskers. And there's two things that stick out to me. One of them is obviously the 18 turnovers for Nebraska committed, 18 turnovers to just 17 made shots for Nebraska.
You should never have those numbers be that way.
And the other one would be that Nebraska was out-rebounded 43-25 to the Maryland Terrapins on the road.
Maryland just kind of imposed their will inside. Just not overly fit, just out physical Nebraska in every facet of that matchup, especially inside. Kind of one of the things we were talking about before, where they don't have the bigger names that they've had in the past. This Maryland squad doesn't.
Yeah.
But Julian Reese is still a big name and imposed his will on the inside against Rink Maston, whoever else was going up against him.
Well, I mean, so it's like, look at it this way, right? I mentioned one of those things that jumped out to me was the fact that Nebraska committed more turnovers than they made in field goals. You look at the last couple of games for Nebraska, right? So that would be the Northwestern game, and that would have been the Ohio State matchup. And in the Northwestern game, Nebraska commits 18 turnovers once again, but they made 26 field goals. So you stayed away from it, right? But still, the 18 turnovers is quite alarming. Then you follow that up with against Ohio State, 6 turnovers in that one and 30 made field goals.
A great game.
Much better ratio. But once again,
Impeccable.
the number to watch more is the turnovers.
Yep.
So then it's like, okay, Nebraska, here you are. And both of these were home games, both Northwestern and Ohio State home games. You have 18 turnovers, but then you follow that up with a 6 turnover performance against the Buckeyes. So you say, okay, hopefully you can now go on the road and put together a similar performance.
Build on your lack of turnovers.
And Nebraska commits 18. So in the last 3 games, you have, that would be 36, 42 turnovers in your last 3 games.
That's a ridiculous number.
And in one of those games, if you really want to talk about it, you're averaging, a little over 12 per game, a little over 12 turnovers per game, 12, 13 turnovers. That'd be about 13 and a half turnovers per game over the last 3 games. And you have not been playing ranked teams.
No.
You go up now this week against the Wisconsin Badgers.
Who just moved up to number 6.
Yeah, 6th in the AP poll. This is an opportunity now for Nebraska, and we're going to say it all week, to knock off another top 10 team. Did so against Purdue on the same floor in Pinnacle Bank Arena. Now you're going to have an opportunity to do it again. And in a much more dire situation of the season, I think.
Yeah.
Because it's not time to hit the panic button that Nebraska's not going to make the big dance, right? I think if you were still to kind of ask me personally, Nick, what do you think is going to happen? I'm going to probably lean towards Nebraska's in.
The odds are still in Nebraska's favor to make the big dance.
But here you have it that Nebraska 15-6 overall. You look ahead to this 3-game slate that Nebraska has, and it starts out with top 10 Wisconsin, as we know, at home. But then you go on the road to Illinois. And
not only are you on the road where you struggle, but you're on the road at another top 10.
Yeah.
Are they still top 10? Yeah. You're on the road at a top 10, team's home arena. in a place where you don't play very well against a team that's rolling.
I lied. Illinois, after Illinois beat Indiana by 8, they dropped 4 spots. So Illinois dropped 4 spots to 14th in the country.
Top 15.
There you go.
Such a big difference.
It is.
It is. But still.
How about this, though? Wisconsin made a 7-spot jump. After they beat Michigan State 81-66, they jumped 7 spots.
Who else jumped over Illinois? How do you win and drop by 4 spots?
That's crazy.
Ridiculous. Whatever. Yeah. I don't care. Hopefully Nebraska beats them.
Yeah.
It's on the road. It's a weird thing where if Nebraska plays on the road, you just kind of write them off.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's almost as if you don't even want to give, no, careful how I say this, you don't want to give them a chance just because they're playing away from the friendly confines of PBA, and they've shown you how badly they play away from PBA that you almost have not no faith, but your lack of faith in Nebraska on the road.
You have yet to see it. You have a team in Nebraska that's 13-1 if I remember correctly, 13-1 at Pinnacle Bank Arena this year. Their one loss has been to Creighton, and the rest of their losses, the other 5, are on the road. Nebraska also is 1-0 in neutral site games. They count that Sanford Pentagon matchup a neutral site game against Oregon State, where they demolished the Beavers. So Nebraska, their net, right? We went that deep dive on the net ranking for Nebraska
after it rose quite a bit with Oregon State, who you just mentioned, beating Arizona.
Yeah, Oregon State beats Arizona.
It was 4 at the time.
Nebraska now sits, I believe. Yeah, they are at 60.
Yeah, they dropped 15 spots.
They dropped 18 spots in the net just because of this one loss to the Maryland Terrapins. That counts as a quad 2 game. So it's a quad 2 loss for the Huskers. So now currently 3-3 in the quad 1, 2-3 in quad 2, and 10-0 in quad 3 and 4 games combined. So Nebraska now this Thursday, to add to this point, this is the stuff we've kind of been discussing, is that those losses are going to kill you. If Nebraska ends up winning against Wisconsin on Thursday, if they're able to knock off a top 5 or top 6 team, well, then guess what? You're going to probably jump, 10 spots, maybe 12
if you're lucky.
You're not jumping 18.
No.
You're not getting back to that 42 without a little bit of work being done. So not only does Nebraska need to get this one on Thursday, not just because it'd be a quad 1 game, but also just to kind of repair yourself after you took a shot in the arm in the form of an 18 spot drop after you lose to Maryland. Maryland, by the way, jumped up about 18 or 17 spots in the net. Mm-hmm. They were at 98, and now they are currently at 81st after beating Nebraska, which counts once again as that quad 2 win.
Hey, there you go, Nebraska. You're helping people.
Yep. So Nebraska, they have a dire need to get this done. They need to win one of the two against Wisconsin and Illinois before, I believe, you go on the road to Northwestern as well. Where, by the way, Illinois lost. Ohio State got demolished by, I believe, almost 30 points to the Wildcats.
Tough place to play.
Evanston.
Smart place to play.
There you go. That's better suited
Not
for
Chicago's Big Ten team.
So Nebraska, though, one thing that I will say, just to add to everything we've kind of been talking about before we get to break, is I was really disappointed in the volume or lack thereof in shots from a guy like Rink Mass. I understand that for the most part, he was matched up on Julian Reese last night. Julian Reese, finished with 15 points and 16 rebounds. But nonetheless,
he was jumping over people to get boards.
Rink Mass only attempted 5 shots last night, on Saturday. And it's not like Rink didn't hit some of the shots. He went 1 of 2 from beyond the arc and then 2 of 5 from the field. Finishes with 5 points and 6 rebounds. The rebound number is not the one I'm necessarily concerned about as much. It's the volume of shots. It's not even the 5 points. It's that your best player and the guy that just dropped a 30 burger the game before is only taking 5 shots. And when you're down by 15 or more consistently, you got to get him the ball and just try to get him to go to work.
Well,
just
that's
try
the
to get
thing.
him going.
That's the thing where I don't know if it's not by obviously it's not by design. They want him to get shots, but it's a situation where, again, he's getting out muscled. He can't get to his spots. He's not going to force shots up. I'm not defending him. I'm not defending Rinkmaster only taking 5 shots, but there are, some reasons why that happened. But like you said, you do have to find a way to get him involved when he did just drop 30 points for you the game previous. That's a guy who, if you can get him going, again, it'll open things up for the rest of the team because he can get that ball down low and swing it around and maybe have somebody get an open 3-point attempt. But if he's only taking 5, then Maryland's not even going to worry about putting a double team. They'll just, leave Julian Reese on him and hold him where he's at.
There was also a time in the game, and I can't remember when I saw it or heard it on the broadcast, but there was a moment in the game where Nebraska had more turnovers, or obviously more turnovers than made shots, and all of their shots but 2 came from the perimeter. Now, I understand that in that case, maybe Rinkmaster isn't going to get his volume of shooting, but it's not like Rink didn't just have a 6 for 8 game from beyond the arc. It's not like you have him not handle the ball at the start of every possession at the top of the key. He's heavily involved. And I mean, so you sit there and he wasn't dealing with foul trouble. He finished the game with just 3 personal fouls to his name. And it would be also one thing if he was distributing it. It was like Nebraska's offense was just completely off. And it was a really, really disappointing performance. They started out lights out from 3, get that 12-2 lead. And then it was just, Nebraska, we've seen them shoot so well and then so poorly from 3. And, and Professor Rick makes a really good point on the text line is that Maryland got, extended their defense and got into the full court pressure right from the jump. And right after, I think Kevin Willard took that timeout with Nebraska up 12-2, they turned on the Jets and turned on the full court press against Nebraska. And there were times that Nebraska had a 10-second call against them. They had a couple of turnovers. They had some just lazy passes. Things like that just can't happen. It can't happen. It's stuff that you got to clean up if you want to be a tournament team come March, or I should say late February and early March. And so Tater says the score has Wisconsin at 13. They go off of the AP poll. So check out the AP poll, college basketball, and you'll be able to see much more in depth about each team if you want to. I mean, I can just briefly tell you some of the Big Ten schools. Purdue, after a 68-60 win, is second in the country. Then it goes Wisconsin. Then it will go Illinois. And that is it. So how about that? The Big Ten Conference, just 3 teams in the top 25. So it might not be that great of a league.
Not great this year.
This season. Which,
you know what happened the last time the Big Ten wasn't great and Nebraska had a decent record?
Nebraska made the tournament.
Nebraska didn't make
the tournament. In 2014, the league didn't have a great year either. And Nebraska got 4th in the Big Ten standings in the end of the conference season. Nonetheless, Nebraska, Wisconsin, 7:30 tip-off on Thursday night. Big Ten Network is the spot to watch that one, and make sure you tune in right after the game for the Husker post-game show, as hopefully we're breaking down the Husker victory against another top 10 performer.
Hopefully breaking down another court storming. Don't run into anybody.
Do they storm the court against Wisconsin?
Yes.
Greg Gard better get out of the way.
Better move, Greg
Gard. All right, we're out of here. Let's go ahead and take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll continue with the happy hour right here, 93.7 The Ticket.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. We'd like to say thank you for a record-setting 2023. So let's start off 2024 with the bang. They've got huge trade-in bonuses and finance bonusing happening right now on our new inventory at Koppel. Get up to $8,500 off select new models at Koppel. So if you're shopping for a new GM product, go to our website at koppelcars.com. You won't believe the discounts. Make that short money-saving drive down 144th Street. You'll be glad you did. Must have trade and finance with roof credit. Stock number G20766. 5684.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
The Lincoln forecast for today, a little patchy fog possible this morning. Otherwise, we'll see mainly sunny skies. Stay in warm weather, too. We'll see a high around 47. Tonight, partly cloudy skies are expected with a low around 31. And tomorrow, more sunshine on the way. Warm weather, too. We'll see a high around 44. Meteorologist Kyle Kleck for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. The last few years have been wild, but we've been here for you through all the ups and downs, and we'll be here for you when you need us the most. For all your travels and for your day-to-day driving. With winter conditions causing problems all over town, the last thing anyone needs this year is constant car troubles. Let us help you drive in peace and make sure you drive to work and to winter destinations safe. A1 Automotive, 11th and L Street downtown, always honest answers.
Joining a gym fashionably late this year? You're right on time. At Planet Fitness, we got you. Because now through January 31st, you can still join for just 24 cents down, $10 a month. Cancel anytime. And to make it even better, we have free fitness training, equipment for every workout, plus a free in-app crowd meter, and most clubs open 24 hours. Feel good about being fashionably late. It's the last chance to join Planet Fitness for just 24 cents down, $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Hurry, deal ends January 31st. See Home Club for details.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro photography to showcase the house in the best possible way, pro marketing to make sure we get maximum exposure, pro negotiations so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Bleicher and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador. Online at prg-ne.com.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
At Allo, we believe in the exceptional. From extraordinary whole home coverage to super fast speeds, our local teams are always on hand to make sure your service is running at top performance. Let go of lag, banish buffering, and enjoy outstanding service throughout your entire home. We believe in delivering nothing less than exceptional service, so that's exactly what we do. Visit us at allofiber.com to experience the exceptional.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert.
Herbie the Fourth ate his first solid food today, prompting a response of nothing but steaks all week for the Nebraska offensive line.
Then Enrique Alvarez Clary.
No more peaches and carrots for Herbie the Seventh. Baby food be damned.
Sponsored by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, this is going to be a really quick one as we are catching up on our time here before we hand it off to On the Block with Strick and Austin. We'll bring them in for a short, abbreviated crossover here in just a few minutes. Strick is in the building. So
he is here.
He came in. He was mad at Michael Badgley because he didn't kick some field goals. So
how dare he?
There he goes. Anyway,
What a tragedy.
464-5685. We got a text that I want to address really quickly.
Okay.
Gorilla Bear says, I think Mast's 30-point game was more of a flash in a pan than the sign of things to come. And I would agree.
Yeah.
I think when you look at Rink Mast, though, when Juwan Gary is not playing, is Nebraska's go-to guy. I'm not saying that that Rink should get 30 points per night. That's the beauty of this Husker team that we've talked so much about, is that they don't need a guy to get 30 a night, like they have in maybe very, very recent years. Now, with that being said, I would like to see Rink Mast shoot 10 shots. I would like to see Rink shoot 12. And because I'm not saying 10 from beyond the arc, I'm saying just in general, in total, figure out a way to where Nebraska and Rink Mast can find a way, a way to get 12. I guess 12 points too much to ask from Rink. Now, that doesn't change the outcome of this game. But as the texter says, take notice, when Mast plays bad, the team plays poorly. And I think that has some truth to it. I just would have liked to see Rink Mast, who's shooting at a high percentage around the rim, and he's gone up against guys that are maybe bigger or more athletic or more physical than he is, and it hasn't been a problem to this point. He's averaging around a double-double, if not past it. So, yes, the rebound number might not be that great either at 6 rebounds when Josiah Allick only has 4. So when your two big men only have 10 total rebounds, you're probably going to get out-rebounded by a pretty large margin, which Nebraska did. But
that's where Juwan Gary comes into play.
The 2 of 5 shooting, once again, it's not like that's a bad clip. It's not like he went 0 for 5 and just wasn't on that night. He didn't shoot enough to find out whether or not he was on that night. And Rink Mast, we've seen it so often, is that if he can get the perimeter shot going, especially the perimeter shot, everything opens up. Everybody opens up.
Mm-hmm.
And so far, when you're talking about Maryland here, the Maryland game, CJ Wilcher, man, there's just not enough that we can say as spectators of this Husker basketball team about CJ Wilcher coming off the bench consistently. Something that Nebraska basketball is just starving for. Whether you're home or away, here's CJ Wilcher coming off the bench and just figuring out a way to put a stamp on the game,
to pour in some buckets, to hit those threes, to come off and be a spark plug, even though they needed multiple spark plugs and his play just wasn't enough. But that happens when you have your best player currently on the court only taking 5 shots. That's a guy who should be getting double-digit shot attempts every single night. I look, if he could give you 16 points a night, that'd be golden, because that's a guy who, yes, when the outside shot is falling, obviously everybody's play is better, but he only needs like maybe 2 shots from outside a night. But for the most part, all of his touches should be inside the paint.
Mm-hmm.
That hook shot is butter. And when he's hitting those shots, it forces teams to attempt to double him, which then opens things up for backdoor attempts from Juwan Gary when he's healthy, for Keisei Tominaga. It opens up 3-pointers for Keisei. It makes everybody's job a lot easier, everybody's life a lot easier when Rink Mast is actually taking and making shots, because the guy is so technical with his shots. He's not going to overpower a lot of the bigs in the Big Ten, but his finesse and the technicality with which he gets to his spots is something that bothers opposing bigs.
It's crazy to think that Nebraska, by the way, CJ was the only Husker player in double figures, while Maryland had 4 reach double figures for the Terps. I'm just looking through the stat sheet, the box score, and it is mind-boggling that for 2 halves, Nebraska was unable to make at least 10 shots in one single half. I mean, you're talking about going on average more than 2 minutes without a bucket. And 2 minutes of game time.
Yeah.
It's just like
that's what happens when you turn the ball over 18 times.
It does. That's true. Maryland hits 26 shots, 9 more than the Huskers.
How many offensive rebounds did Maryland have?
17.
Yeah.
17 offensive rebounds. Nebraska had 3. Nebraska on the defensive glass, Nebraska didn't get out rebounded too badly, but they allowed 17 offensive boards.
35 extra possessions for Maryland with the 18 turnovers and the 17 offensive rebounds.
Yeah.
That'll do it. That'll do it.
And you lose by 22 to Maryland on the road. It wasn't even like the atmosphere. It wasn't even like sometimes you can see like an atmosphere jar and rattle an opponent. It didn't feel like that was the case for Nebraska on Saturday.
They took the air out of the building early and then just fell flat.
But that's what I'm saying. It just felt like a Nebraska issue, and it was. Maryland just so athletic. Mass, like I said, 2 of 5 shooting in 32 minutes of game time. That's the thing is like I'm looking at some of these minutes for guys, and Eli Rice was a bright spot. I thought Eli Rice looked pretty good out there. He had similar statistics to Rink Mass, 2 of 5 shooting, 4 rebounds, 5 points for the freshman out of IMG. But I'm looking at some like these minutes, and it's easy for me to say sitting behind this microphone and watching on TV, but it's like Bryce Williams 28 minutes, Jamarcus 26, Rink Mass 32, Josiah Alec 25, CJ Wilcher 23. I guess take him out of the equation. Sam Hoiberg 20. I just want to be like, what are you guys doing out there? There's a lot of game time that's on that court. Those are a lot of minutes that I'm sure guys
are out there for a while.
I'm sure guys like Boogie Coleman would probably love a guy that's in his last year of college basketball from Ball State, or Matar, or if he was healthy, Juwan Gary, or if he was healthy, Blaze Keita. Like, this is not me trying to take a shot at these guys. It's like, what's going on? There's plenty of minutes out there, 200 total minutes here for all the players combined, and nothing. Just a whole lot of disappointment. 17 made shots once again, 9 in the first half, 9 of 22 in the first half, 8 of 21 in the second half. You got to switch it up. Got to fix it quick. And I think just because Nebraska is 13-1 at home, you feel somewhat
a little better,
cautiously optimistic coming home. And Nebraska plays Wisconsin on Thursday. We'll see what happens. Crowd's going to be there. Crowd's going to bring the juice. Hopefully hopefully Juwan Gary's ready to go. We'll find out. I'm sure more from Fred Hoiberg later this week.
I think he was going through warm-ups with a calf sleeve on. Didn't play, obviously, but at least he's moving.
I think they certainly could have used him. I honestly could've. And I also will say this, and this has no insider info attached to it behind the scenes. I hope it's just an injury. Like, I hope there's nothing else going on. Let's just hope so. So let's take a break. When we come back, we'll wrap up the happy hour with Austin and Strick. Get you ready for On the Block with those two coming up next.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the happy hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
It's $5.99 barbecue time. Hurry to Hog Wild for a complete barbecue meal that's only $5.99. Get a one-meat sandwich loaded with our award-winning barbecue, plus your choice of a classic side and drink for just $5.99. Upgrade your sandwich to beef brisket for just $1 more. Join us for lunch or dinner in Lincoln at 3210 Cornhusker Highway. Order online at GoHogWild.com.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Hello, this is Mary Pat Waite. I've had the privilege of working with Lincoln families as their realtor for more than 31 years, and I'm so proud to be associated with MP Dodge Real Estate. For me, your transaction is unique in its own way. My experience allows me to bring you trusted care and a really great outcome. My NP Dodge family shares the same client focus.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro photography to showcase the house in the best possible way, pro marketing to make sure we get maximum exposure, pro negotiations so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Blecker and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador. Online at prg-ne.com.
At Allo, we believe in the exceptional. From extraordinary whole home coverage to super fast speeds, our local teams are always on hand to make sure your service is running at top performance. Let go of lag, banish buffering, and enjoy outstanding service throughout your entire home. We believe in delivering nothing less than exceptional service, so that's exactly what we do. Visit us at allofiber.com to experience the exceptional.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
The Lincoln forecast for today, a little patchy fog possible this morning. Otherwise, we'll see mainly sunny skies stay in warm weather too. We'll see a high around 47. Tonight, partly cloudy skies are expected with a low around 31. And tomorrow, more sunshine on the way. Warm weather too. We'll see a high around 44. I'm meteorologist Kyle Klecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Joining a gym fashionably late this year? You're right on time. At Planet Fitness, we got you. Because now through January 31st, you can still join for just 24 cents down, $10 a month. Cancel anytime. And to make it even better, we have free fitness training, equipment for every workout, plus a free in-app crowd meter, and most clubs open 24 hours. Feel good about being fashionably late. It's the last chance to join Planet Fitness for just 24 cents down, $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Hurry, deal ends January 31st. See Home Club for details.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beers, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. The last few years have been wild, but we've been here for you through all the ups and downs, and we'll be here for you when you need us the most, for all your travels and for your day-to-day driving. With winter conditions causing problems all over town, the last thing anyone needs this year is constant car troubles. Let us help you drive in peace and make sure you drive to work and to winter destinations safe. A1 Automotive, 11th and L Street downtown, always honest answers.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and we'd like to say thank you for a record-setting 2023. So let's start off 2024 with the bang. They've got huge trade-in bonuses and finance bonusing happening right now on our new inventory at Koppel. Get up to $8,500 off select new models at Koppel. So if you're shopping for a new GM product, go to our website at koppelcars.com. You won't believe the discounts. Make that short money-saving drive down 144th Street. You'll be glad you did. Must have trade and finance with roof credit. Stock number G20764.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert.
I vomited last night.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
I literally vomited. I threw up.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That's good, Stricky. Make sure Rico's mic is off. That's good.
Yeah.
Keep that one off.
I'll turn all your mics off.
There he is.
Y'all arguing about colors with me.
You want to go solo?
Run it.
Go ahead.
Not all of us have wives who are graphic designers.
We'll sit.
That's not how you got to hit them off. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Strick and Austin were arguing with me about colors. We were talking about the Super Bowl color conspiracy, and they were trying to tell me that you could combine, what was it, blue and purple to make red. Ridiculous. Not even close to red. No.
Or blue and red to make purple.
No. They were saying blue and purple make red, which doesn't make any sense at all.
Blue and red makes purple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
Or
why
so we
Kansas
thought.
City Chiefs and the Kansas City Chiefs snuck in there on the low because they're red and the blue of the Lions means the sacrifice of the Ravens.
Yeah, sure.
So that's why that okay.
Tricky, I value what you say.
I'm just saying.
All right, cool. Well, how are we doing, gentlemen?
Good.
Great.
How's
It's
the
a new
weekend?
day.
Get moved in?
Yeah.
All moved in?
Oh, yeah.
All or most?
Well, just waiting on furniture now.
Okay, cool.
But I'm in.
Did you shop at a spot? Did you get some new stuff?
Yeah.
Is that what you were doing on your phone Thursday?
Yeah.
Nice.
Looking for furniture?
That part.
That's cool. That's cool.
Did you get one of those cool couches that has like a charging dock on the arm?
No.
Did you get one of them?
I'm very simple.
Are you
bro.
guys fabric couch or leather couch guys?
Fabric. Don't give me a
So
leather couch.
so hold on.
I
Hold
don't
on.
know
This
either.
is a heck of a conversation.
Leather couches are
Because I
garbage.
used to be that guy's driving
Yeah,
with the door
the
open.
door is open. I saw him over here. I wasn't sure which way
That
he was
guy's
going
driving
to go.
down O Street with his back
Do you
door
think he
open.
knows?
I don't think he knows.
I don't think
he
he
might be
knows.
on one.
Also, it's a car, not nobody
A
has
van.
their
That
pants
was
down.
the-
Yeah, I know. I was just
He
saying,
might
with
he
their
might
back
he
door
might
open.
he might feel like
Nobody has their pants down.
he might feel like the Lions coach right now. Probably on one.
No, I don't think the Lions coach is mad at all.
You think he's driving
I
around?
think he's I think I posted something. There was a scene from
Did you mean
one of
tweet
the
him?
moves
you
with
mean tweet my
Denzel
head
Washington.
coach?
I want to say the one where he was a pilot and he was getting the caption says the Lions how they feel right now. Well,
Yeah.
they said
Yeah, words.
But
This
anyway,
makes sense, yeah.
But anyway, Denzel Washington goes, I was drunk. I'm drunk. I'm drunk right now.
No. Coach
I
is
think
just
so.
fine. No.
No, I can't even believe you right now or defending that.
Defending what?
We ain't gonna get it.
When they're
You and I will get into it.
when they're 74% completion or excuse me, success rate?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cost you the biggest game of your life.
Michael Badgley could have cost you the biggest game of your life.
I would much rather that
Stop
shit
stealing
go-
our second hour.
Yeah. Stop stealing.
Yeah.
Michael Badgley
Just
is bad.
No, talk about what you were going to talk about
It,
before.
it is Michael
what they're
Badgley.
gonna
It's
talk
not
about.
Michael Goodgley.
It's Michael Badgley is bad.
Michael Badgley.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Just like Wisconsin's the bad jurors, not the good jurors.
Yeah, stop being good.
This is please turn the mics off.
Okay, but you never answered leather or fabric.
Yes, we have to
fabric
talk
couch.
leather or fabric couch. I used to be leather only in my early days.
Nick, big leather guy.
Big leather guy.
In my early days, I used to only like leather couches. I wanted the leather recliner.
What was the reason for that?
Just because there's something I'm a big like. I like to have cold stuff around me, but I don't like to be cold. What I mean by that is getting into bed. Yeah, I like cold sheets, right?
So you're cold blooded.
I guess so.
No, because cold blood, they want warm stuff around them.
Well, what I'm saying,
What are you, a reptile?
All I'm saying is that
reptiles are cold blooded.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they want warm stuff around them so they can stay warm.
But
They-
no, he
they
wants
can't-
the cold around him, so he absorbs the
So
cold.
he's warm blooded because he wants to be cold.
I'd like to be chilled. Just cool.
He's like an inverse cold blooded.
Keep it
So he's
cool.
still cold blooded.
Are you a can of beer? You just want to be chilled?
Yeah, yeah. Like I just don't like hot stuff around me. And part of that, like the fabric,
Is that
can
why you-
get very hot.
Rico, you thought you said it. I was thinking it.
I actually thought leather gets hotter than fabric.
Maybe it does, but you can just change.
We had the
change
same
seats.
thought.
Here we are having an actual conversation, Stricky.
That was
and
bad.
These two idiots.
That was almost bad.
But no,
I'll tell you off air.
Anyway, all right.
Okay. Someone was saying they have the
Somebody
leather
says-
couches for their dogs.
Somebody says,
which I've never had a dog, so fabric all the way.
fabric all the way.
I feel like a leather couch for a dog would be bad because their claws would either way, like just their claws would be bad on the leather, right?
Is leather classier?
No,
Or
because
is
I
it
feel
just
like
different?
it used to
it can
be.
fade.
It used to be classier. Like if you had leather couches and like leather seats and cars, we're like, oh, you got leather.
You're
Like,
big
that's
time.
that's fancy. But now it's like, whatever.
Yeah, it's whatever.
I'm good for.
I just want to be
fabric.
comfortable.
I'm good for cloth seats and vehicles.
The only good thing about leather seats and vehicles is that they're heated.
Yeah,
Some of them are.
My heated seat just went out.
Mine too.
Oh, what a tragedy!
I wore mine out.
My
I gotta get it
passenger my passenger seat's fine.
A1 Automotive.
My passenger seat's fine.
I'ma
My driver's seat.
Mine
heated
went
seat
out too,
just went
bro.
out.
Mine went out too. During all this.
And I don't
freeze
know.
out.
I don't know how
Mine
mine
works.
went out before my
Same.
passenger seat.
Exactly.
Because you turn yours on more.
No, I don't know. I don't, because the first thing that my girlfriend does when she gets in the car is bang. She bangs that button.
Bang! Oh, what a
Mike Brings it. she like jams that button to make sure it's on full blast to heat the seat.
She wants all the lights. So she said, "Get on there."
Yeah.
See, I turn my seat warmers on first thing I get in the car, but it's off by the time I get out of my neighborhood because it
See?
heats up so quick here
Oh,
that
yeah.
I get it, warm enough where it's comfortable, but I'm not going to
Yeah.
have it on the whole way.
My butt gets on fire.
Here's my
Yeah,
here's,
no bueno.
here's what I'll
NBA
say.
Jam, he's on fire.
I like the new vehicles because they got the cooling seats too.
What?
Why do you need a cool
There's
seat?
cooling seats as well. Does yours have a cooling
In the
seat?
summer.
Look at this.
Dang,
Stricky's got
Stricky.
one of them.
Of course.
Stricky's got one of them.
Heated seats and cooling seats.
They're amazing.
No, the cooling seats.
Especially in the summer.
Cooling seats are better than heated seats.
Does it work on the steering wheel too?
That's all I need.
Not
I need
cooling.
yeah,
They
I need
usually have heat. They
No, I
have-
need the steering wheel to be
I,
cooled.
I think maybe some of the new Mercedes might have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good thing I'm looking at those. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
You know me.
You're looking
I'm
at 'em.
kidding.
That's
Yeah, I'm
it.
looking at them.
Hey,
Yeah.
I can look at them.
I sit down at the desk and they're like, sir, you cannot afford this.
Nick said, "That's a nice Mercedes."
Ouch. Yeah. Anyway,
I'm not gonna touch it, but that's a nice Mercedes.
Besides NFL football, what's coming up on the show today? Austin and Solitaire Man.
Solitary Stricky?
Solitaire Stricky.
Damn, you just gonna call him out like that? You gonna have
He
a
always
conversation
does.
with him, and then you just go call him out like that?
That's what he does.
That's rude. That's rude.
You two are together on Thursday. So I'm
We
just
are.
gonna
We are.
drop that.
I'll
right
get him
away.
back.
Stricky's excited.
I'll get
I
him
would.
back.
I would
Stricky's
never.
I'll get him back.
To answer your question,
Is
we'll
that
get
right?
into Nebraska, Maryland. But really,
Yeah.
like, how in the world was Nebraska actually able to win at Kansas State? Like, that is looking more and more like the outlier. So, is what Nebraska did at Kansas State replicable, or is that going to be the fluke for the year? Luka went for 73 over the weekend. You had Embiid go off, you had Cat go off. Now it's Luka's turn. Who's next in line to get to 70? And then another junior day for Husker football. So we'll get the recruiting update from Brian Munson.
There he is. All right. Well, appreciate Jay Foreman hanging out with us at the start of the show. Appreciate you guys for sticking with us for about an hour and a half or two, close to 2 hours today on a Monday. Carricker will be back tomorrow with Carricker Chronicles. That's what we're expecting. So make sure you tune into all the shows later this afternoon, starting next with On the Block with Strick and Austin. Good stuff today on NFL. Good stuff on the Husker women's basketball, Husker men's basketball situations, all that and more. Appreciate you guys texting in, calling in, all that stuff as well. Rico and I will talk to you guys tomorrow.
Adios.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197. Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
The Lincoln forecast for today, a little patchy fog possible this morning. Otherwise, we'll see mainly sunny skies. Stay in warm weather, too. We'll see a high around 47. Tonight, partly cloudy skies are expected with a low around 31. And tomorrow, more sunshine on the way. Warm weather, too. We'll see a high around 44. I'm meteorologist Kyle Klecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest, quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Problem gambling affects millions of Americans daily, of all ages and walks of life. If your loved one is struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300. If you're not going to Memorial Stadium for a home game and don't have any travel plans for away games, there's a great place in Omaha to catch the action, the Inner Rail Food Hall. There's plenty of space. The Backstretch Bar has amazing game specials on game day.